You can never tell me. You can never tell me. I won't rise.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Right Mind podcast. We are super excited. We got Holden in the building with us. Welcome, Holden. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us today, man. How's everything going? How are you?
Dude, it's going so good, I've been looking forward to this for a while now. Just being able to get that support from my crew back home. Just let me come on
A
this
lot of it.
podcast. Yeah, for sure. It's just been super exciting, and I've just been anticipating this day, so I can't wait to get started.
Dude, seeing all those comments drop in, I was like, yo, well, because, like, to be truthfully honest, and like, this isn't like a diss at the podcast either. Like, we don't get that many comments. Like, we're still building, we're still growing, all that fun stuff, as you know. But like, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, yo, like, why do we have so many notifications of things popping in? And then so I pull it up, and it's literally just, it was a post for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about. We put up a post, and we just said, who do you guys want to see come onto the podcast next? And or have come back onto the podcast. And I don't know how it got sent out, who sent it out, who shared it, whatever, but there was like 10 to 12 notifications of just people shouting out Holden. Yo, we want Holden. Holden needs to be on the podcast. And yo, shout out to those people. I hope you guys are watching this. Shout out to you guys. That was super awesome, super dope to just see the support, as Holden said, from just the squad back home, of people just showing love and support, to have him on. I was super excited. I know that you and I, Holden, have had a conversation. This was back when we were having LeVar on one of our episodes. Just really appreciating what we talked about on that episode, and just seeing the impact, and that's what we're trying to do with this space, and having you on to share your perspective of everything, and to just allow you the opportunity to just share your story, and a little bit about some of the things that you do.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, and I appreciate that. And it was definitely the support was crazy. I remember that post came out, and I was like, oh wow, that'd be cool. And when it was going on, I was actually at Top Golf with a group of my friends, and I was like, hey guys, one of y'all should at me in the comments, see what happens. And then what I didn't know was that like they sent it around to this big group chat I was in from a church camp, and then like that got
Amen.
sent out, and then I started playing, and I looked back, and like I have like 9 messages in like my Instagram DMs, and it's all just people that like at me, and I was like this is crazy, I appreciate it. And then like
Heck
I see
yeah.
LV in the comments, and I'm like, LeVar, I appreciate that too. It's just really cool to get to see all the support, and just everyone like really like building you up and allowing you to get to do something you love.
Yeah, man, that was super cool. I was like, I don't know. I was like, they definitely want to have Holden on, and we're definitely all for it, to get you on. It's been a cool experience, as I was telling my co-host Life here, off air. You and I kind of first met on the steering committee for the National Keystone Conference. And again, for those that may not know, to summarize it, it's a teen leadership event of 3 days of teens from across the world being able to come together to celebrate achievements, but also to learn some new things, and take some things back home to their own personal boys and girls club or military affiliated youth centers, in order to apply it to those areas, and to, again, to just grow and learn, with each other. So that was kind of the first time that you and I have linked up, in that space. What was that experience for you, as far as being selected, to just the 8 crazy months that we went through in planning the whole thing?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And let me just tell you, Keystone, the conference, the committee, the people, it was honestly a life changing, it was an amazing experience. And I
Mhm.
was this close to not being able to be a part of that. So what happened was I follow our BGC, our tap-in on Instagram, like
Yep.
the one that like LV helps run. And I just was like looking at the post, I like to stay updated and everything. And I saw that it was like last day to sign up like for the Keystone Steering Committee to apply. And it was like check out our bio now. And I was like, I don't know a lot about this because I've only gone to one previous Keystone conference, and that was in Dallas in
Okay.
2023. And I was like, but I want to be involved. Like, I love the movement. I love being a part of as much as I can. So I got on it like that night. I just remember it was like 8 o'clock, and I emailed my advisor. I was like, hey, can we make this happen? And she was super supportive. So we went through the process. I made a video, tried to be high energy about it. And then after that, I was like, well, we got it submitted, and now we wait. And then we waited a long time, anticipation was growing. And then
Oh
we
yeah,
found out that we were selected. And LV and Ashley, they've met a few times at like previous conferences in the past.
for sure.
And so after we got it, like he just sent a congratulations text to us. And I was just like, wow, like we did it. Like I don't really know a lot about what to expect. But it was super cool. And then I remember going up to Atlanta for the first time to meet everyone. And I really did like, I didn't have a lot of like expectations or high hopes for what was coming in just because it was like new
Mhm.
people. The only person I knew was going to be my advisor, Ashley. But she was out of town, like she couldn't make it. So we brought another one of my advisors. His name was Tanner. Shout out Tanner because he was
Yeah,
super
shout out
cool
Tanner.
and he was super helpful that weekend. But honestly, like the moment we got there, it honestly just felt like one big family, and like that's the truth. We're coming from different states. Like Keandre came from Germany, him and Mercedes. It's like we were like a movement from around the world, like quite literally,
Mhm.
and that was something like so crazy to me, just like the commitment that everyone had, but especially like them coming all the way from Germany. Like I think we just got right to work, but like also having fun, starting out with those leadership buildings. And then on the second day that we were there, I believe we had those conversations, like just true authentic conversations about what we want to talk about and why. And I just remember like that moment will always stick with me just because like it was the most real experience that like we got to have as a group. Because I don't know if you remember, but like there were just tears shed from like almost everyone,
Mhm.
and people really got to open up. And like to me, like that's how I knew that like these people are here for a reason. And like the genuine and authenticity in everyone, like they really do want to make a difference. And I think like that was something super impactful to me, like not only like to just get to experience, but to like be a part of and just see like why everyone is here and why they are pushing and trying to be an advocate for what they believe in. And that was honestly just like a great opening weekend for us. And then that fueled me for the rest of our meetings, because it can be hard going another 7 or 8 months without seeing the people you only got to see for a
Mhm.
weekend. And but I just like I got to go back to those moments, and LV and Lepre, they made those meetings as fun as possible. We always had an icebreaker. We were taking moments to check in. And so that was really good that we got to have those moments to kind of just be fun and check in on each other. But we also still got to work. And I think that we did an amazing job because I loved the conference. When we got to Chicago, I was like, all right, we've been putting in the work for 8 months, and like it's finally time now. And I just remember like we got to have that meeting, like, all right, everyone, it's go time. I hope you got some rest because you're not gonna get it the rest of the week.
You're not getting
And
none.
yeah, that's right. I mean, and honestly, he wasn't wrong because we were going. We're the last ones asleep, the first ones awake, but it
Yeah.
was it was such a surreal like experience. Like just being able to be involved in so many different things and truly like watching the people get excited to make change and just like give back to the community that does so much for us. It was honestly just amazing. I thought Chicago was like a great place. I'd never been there before. So like getting to go on the as a Keystone committee member early, we got to explore a little bit
Mhm.
before, and that was just super cool. And honestly, the whole experience, it was life changing, and I'm so grateful for all of it. Just because we still text, we have a band with everyone. I mean,
Yep.
you make sure that we all stay updated with you in Victoria's life, and everyone else is just like staying updated when they can, and it's really cool to get to keep in touch with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. one of the things, I mean, Holden, you know this because obviously, like you said, we have the band app. But one of the things, and I'm sharing this with again people that may not know, in the band app I had put, and if you don't know what band is, it's just another communication app. It's like GroupMe and all those other, or it's like GroupMe, whatever. But what I put in the group chat, which I felt as soon as we left Atlanta, to what you were talking about, those conversations, was the gallery walk, right? And the gallery walk where we had those meaningful conversations about the topics that they wanted to talk about. In that moment, like, and I said it shortly after we left there, I told Kyrie, I told LeVar, so that was my fourth steering committee that I've done. And this isn't a knock at any of the steering committees that I've done. But after that gallery walk and the conversations and how deep they went in those conversations, I knew that that conference and that feeling and that team was going to be completely different than any team that I'd been a part of. And it really showed once, like you said, once we got to the conference, just the camaraderie that we had, just the whole feel of the conference, from like the colors to seeing the slogan on the stage, to just the different marketing all around the whole the convention center. It just felt different, but in a great way, in an amazing way. And again, I think it stemmed from that gallery walk of allowing us to get closer in a way that just I hadn't seen before. And again, we're still what, July, August, September, maybe 2 months out of the conference. Like, I still feel so connected to everybody, like wanting to be right back in Chicago, right back in our meetings. And that hasn't really necessarily happened before. Yeah, you still keep in touch with everybody, but there is something about this group that I'm like, yo, I haven't, even on a day-to-day basis, I'm like, yo, I haven't texted anybody to see what people are up to, or what's going on. Like, I need to know what's happening with people. Are people good? People sad? Like, do we need to talk? Like, what's happening? Like, I need to conversate with these people. I need to have conversations, because there was just something different about this year for me, at least for me, that it just hit way different than any year that I've done it. Again, I've done this 4 times already.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Like 4 years, like congratulations to you. I mean, I bet those experiences have been surreal. This was
Mhm.
obviously my first one, but yeah, I mean, you're right. There's not like a day that goes by when I don't think of either our conference, like our committee, just like because everything I just feel like was so like planned like the right way. We got to spend so much time together. Like even like all the way down to our logo. Like I think our logo is fire. I wear my
Our
steering
logo was
committee shirts.
fire.
I wear our steering committee shirts to school, and like even though the back of it says steering committee, and everyone at my school is like, well, I don't know what that is. Like the front is tough, and like people will say like, I like your shirt, and I'm like, yeah, I think we did a pretty good job. Like from us to like the artist who was in there, like helping us with our logo and everything, like just all the details of it were just like I thought they were so like well planned out, and I thought we executed it great, and I think that just like goes to the teamwork that we were have. We were able to like bounce ideas off of each other and just like really get to live up like what we wanted and what we thought of in our brains.
Even down to the guest speakers, the people that came on stage, what was talked about. I think the sessions, I think they were all, it just felt different in such a great way that, you know, I like, words truly can't just describe. Like, I continuously, like, not intentionally, but like I'll go through my phone, like looking for a picture or something, and then the conference will pop up, and I'm just like, man, like, yo, those are just super dope times. Like, I just want to go back. Like, I just want to go back, see the family, see the team. But I know that we're all, continuing to do just great things. And then, of course, LeVar is teasing me with this year's application. And as much as I want to, I'm not going to. Not because I don't want my kids to have that opportunity. One, I just don't think we'll probably get it again. That would be 5 and 6 years, which is a crazy statistic.
Yeah.
And I wanna extend that again. If I could do it every single year, I would. I just love the environment and what we get to do, but I think so many people need to have that experience. And again, I've done this 4 times already. There's not too many that can say that, and people just need to have that experience, even just twice, or even one time. But um, just to just to have that. So we're gonna Hanscom is gonna take a pause and just breathe. We're gonna enjoy what people come up with this year and just celebrate all of those wonderful things.
Yeah, and I like you saying that right there. Like, I think that shows like everyone watching or listening to this, like the type of person that you are. Like, you want everyone to be able to like experience this opportunity, but you're also like you put your members and yourself in the best position. Like to be say like I've been a part of this like 4 years in a row. Like that shows that you're doing something right. You're not only setting up yourself for success, but also your members, and you're just like making sure that they have what it needs. You're obviously doing things on time. And I like big shout out to you for that because
Thank you.
not a lot of people can do that. Like 4 years, like 4 times in 6 years. Is that what you said? 5 years?
Four and five. So we did
Yeah.
three. We did three straight. We paused for Atlanta and then came back for Chicago.
Yeah. Like I don't know anyone that's been on more than that. 3 straight years is pretty crazy. So
Yeah.
definitely like kudos to you, man. Like if that doesn't show you like what type of person like you are and how genuine and like how hardworking you are. So awesome for you, man. Like that's pretty crazy.
Thank you. I mean, it's really for you guys. It's for you guys as teens to have the like I said, like it's for you guys to have those opportunities. If I could do it every year, it's not because I mean, yes, I want to do it, but it's because I want my kids, and I'm sure this is for any advisor out there. And again, I know to be selected as a part of a team of 12 out of thousands of people that enter into this is crazy odds in general, but or hundreds. However, I don't know how many people apply for this, but it's for you guys. It's for you guys to experience this kind of level of leadership that I don't think outside of Keystone, many people necessarily get. And to be like, yo, I planned an entire 3-day conference for, maybe 1,200 to 2,000 teams and advisors. Like, that's pretty crazy to put on your resume as a teen between the ages of 14 and 18 years old that's able to do something like this. I think that's something beautiful to be able to put on your resume. And I think every team deserves an opportunity like that. And again, it's tough because there's only like 12 spots, but the more teens get to do that and experience that, like, dude, I want to find ways to get you guys there and be able to do that. And I would love to help. And again, this isn't me trying to toot my own horn. I would love to help any club that is trying to figure out how to, one, obviously you have to be golden legacy charter in order to apply. Like, let's figure out how to get you there, and then let's figure out how to get you submitted for the application. Like, again, I think every club should be able to try to apply for this thing. Like, there should
Yeah,
be thousands of applications.
exactly. I
Hand
mean, I
finished.
agree 100%. Like I said, and like we've both like shared, like this experience is just like so life changing, especially like those of us like you and like us members that have been on it. Like I know I was asked today, like from a member, if they should apply, is it worth it? And I was like, absolutely 100%. Like I was like, you got this. Like just put your heart into your application. I was like, you got this. Just make sure your advisor and you guys are just putting in the work. And I was like, you honestly just make the conference your own, do what you think is going to make people happy and just fight and advocate for the issues that you care about. And I think past members are a great resource. And I think we'd all love to help just anyone. Like, doesn't have to be from our county, our club, like our state, just anyone who is like wants to help. I know like every single member advisor would be willing because it's an experience we don't want anyone to miss for sure.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference when, like, not just like one, two, three, four, five people are fired up. When everybody involved is fired up and like want to accomplish the same things and more. Not just like this year, the next year, um, years after or whatever. You know what I mean? Um,
Exactly.
to create something that will carry on for like the rest of our lives, and to pave the way for like other, like younger people who want to do something big, um and nobody feels alone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what y'all do right now is going to pave the way for like the up and comers, and something that will just last forever.
Yeah, I agree, and I appreciate that. And I just think that like that's something that like the people at BGCA, like they thought of that. Like I think like they know exactly what they're doing. Like they put on like amazing conferences year after year. And so like honestly, I just think that BGCA, LeVar, LePre, like everyone involved has like done an amazing job and like making this a legacy and something that hundreds and or thousands of kids like want to be a part of. And I think that's why Keystone is so successful and the conference is so successful every year.
Mhm. And I think my vision too is trying to figure out, because I know like this year there was a lot of like, whether it be just like flight cancellations and things like that, which are, those are kind of unavoidable, but just figuring out ways. Again, we're talking about community, we're talking about family and supporting others outside of our own club. Is how do we just continue? I know there's like minimal smaller steps that take place, but how do we help other Keystone clubs have the opportunity to attend a conference like this? Because I think there was like maybe like 1200 or so teens that went this year. I mean, I've seen years, and again, I'm not knocking the year, I'm just trying to like put into perspective the question and things like that, or just statement, if you will, of, I've seen years of like, over 2000 to 1500. And I know like even looking at the military side as an example, like this year I think there was only like 5 to 7 military clubs that were able to go, and that, that could be funding, that could be a slew of things. But I guess my just thought process is, how do we, just support those clubs and trying to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity to just experience the Keystone Conference? Because like LeVar said, and what they did when they asked everybody like who's their first time going to the conference, bro, there was like a slew, like probably like 40 to 45% of the people that were at the conference this year was their first time. And it was like such a beautiful thing to see, because normally you get like the occasional like 1 out of 10, and it was like, bro, it was like 6 out of 10 of like newcomers, which is super dope, because it's like, one, it's like either your club finally was able to make it, or you're just bringing in a whole group of new Keystoners that are chartering up, that are putting in the work, and are able to go to this huge thing. So I just want to see how we can make, especially we rocking in Orlando this year, how we getting thousands of teams to this beautiful place of Orlando, Florida. Like, we got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think that like it starts with like just like everyone, and like for one thing is like if you have a great conference, like maybe everyone just enjoyed the conference so much last year, they went back and they said, "Hey, you got to come to this conference." And I hope that this year, all those new people and all the people that attended can go back and say the same thing, invite their friends, level up, make sure they can get to that standard, come become gold and legacy. But also, I think you just gotta like you really gotta stay involved and like push yourselves and your clubs like within your keystones. Because if you're not doing things around the community, if you're not like making like your keystones stand out, then I feel like that might be like what's holding a lot of
I
people
agree.
back. And so like one thing that like a project that I'm working on right now is getting information about food insecurity like out to all of like the Keystone and the BGCA movement, specifically with blessing boxes. And so something that hopefully is going to come out soon on like the tap in or like our local club is just like how to make a blessing box, like how to give back to the community and just be able
Mhm.
to put something in there that people are going to be able to use, give what they want, and take what they need. Like that's what I always say to describe. Like you can give what you can and like what you want, and anyone can come at any time and take what they need. And I think that simple, super simple projects like that are just finding ways to like give back to the community are a great way to like get you involved. They kind of like light a little spark inside of you. Like, wow, like I get to see that I'm making a difference. Like, what are some other ways that I can do this? And I think that's exactly what Keystone's about, is just being able to connect with so many different people and just maybe take back some projects or some ideas that you heard from a different club, even if it's in a different state or even a different country. Like, there are so many amazing ideas that like I heard at the conference that we're gonna take back and use, and I hope that we're able to do the same at
Oh,
other
hell yeah.
things.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm fired up too. I want to go too.
Yeah, yes,
You know what I mean?
sir.
And like who knows like, how far this is gonna go, you know what I mean? So I mean I'm excited to see like where it goes from here on out, you know what I mean? And like it's in a time where like, we all need it the most.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree.
And I think that's an amazing reason to like have the Keystone there, is because like I think the community, like specifically at my club, and I'm sure everywhere else, like the community pours so much into us and just like our staff, our children, our events, and like being able to like give back, that makes you feel good. And like for me, like it's just something, it's like a passion of mine that keeps me going. And I think that's something in Keystone that kind of like unites us all. It's like, yeah, let's get pumped up. Let's do this. Let's find a way to make a difference. And like once you're at that conference, that fire is just like so grown and so spread like within you that like you can take it back after the conference and just really set yourself up for success for this next year.
Mhm. I think you brought up, not I think, I know you brought up a really good point when it came to the blessing boxes that I think is also applicable just for everybody, right? In just, oh, I don't know how to give back. I don't know what I can give. But I think everybody has something that they can give. I think they just don't realize what that is, or they think that it has to be this bigger thing than it has to be. And to give you an example is like, yeah, I may not be able to put in, maybe we'll just again using this as an example in like the blessing box, like $500 or clothing, but I could, if I'm good with words, I can, maybe write a nice thank you letter or just some words of kindness and motivation to somebody that I can put in that box, because you never know who's on the receiving end of that. That is just like, maybe I don't have everything, but this little letter that this person wrote was so impactful for me that it's making me want to do something. And they could in turn do the same thing for somebody else, and it could just spark them like, hey, like I don't really have anything either, but I could have an impact on somebody by simply just using kind words. And so it's like just encouraging people, again, just in every aspect, even outside of Keystone, whether you're a teen, whether you're an adult, whatever. If you again, like you said, giving back, just it's such an amazing feeling to have and to experience. And again, it doesn't have to be on this ginormous level. These are things that you can do. It doesn't have to be,
On your own.
yeah, like I don't have to get like 500 water bottles and donate it to the shelter or whatever. Like I can simply write a note of kindness to somebody that could completely turn their day around. Like we were talking about off air on something else. It's like, bro, like you don't know the people that you're impacting simply by just saying something nice. It can be so huge. But so as people who are watching this, like think about, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, Holden, we do Keystone projects. Sometimes they're not the most lavish or crazy big extreme projects, and maybe there's only 10 people, but those 10 people got fed within that project, and we're able to take something out of it. Those 10 people go grab another 10 people, or grab, each person grabs one person. Now you got 20, and it continues to spread. And then they're like, yo, I want to do something good. I want to do something good. No, I want to do something good. Well, now you have like 100 people, and it's like that all started from just introducing something to 10 people on a smaller scale through something so simple, but it's just thoughtful in itself.
Exactly. It's like that chain reaction that is like so
Mhm.
simple and seems so like far away and far fetched. But like truly I believe there's like so much good in this world. Like you just like you can start that one. You can start that reaction. And just like it's so fun and it feels so good to be a part of it. And like with this blessing box, like I understand that I am not physically going to be able to go to each Boys and Girls Club and put one of these boxes in. But if I can get the word out, if I can give you like some instructions, maybe we can help you with some funding from donors that we have. Like just then you start that chain reaction of, hey, we can do this as a club. Like we can do this for a project. We can put it outside of our club. We can put it at a church, at a park. Like it just starts that reaction of like, maybe we can put more than one, or while we're at it, we can talk about food insecurity and spread the word. So just like if you are able to speak up, do something little. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to donate thousands of dollars. You don't have to donate hundreds of dollars worth of food. If you're donating one can of food, like that can go to a person, like one can go a long way, like rice or beans, like it can feed a family like for a day. And I think people like realize like, I can only donate like this little, like there's honestly no point. But like there is, because if so many people donate just a little bit of what they can, like that adds up and it adds up and it adds up. And eventually you have so many people helping and creating that chain reaction that you're really starting to see a positive change. And I feel like that's honestly like what it's all about, is just being able to be that change and just being a part of a greater movement.
Mm-hmm. And you could be the inspiration that causes somebody else to chip in too, right? Like if you don't, like if Life and I are sitting here and we see the blessing box, but neither one of us moves, like the blessing box doesn't get filled. But if I take the initiative to be like, yo, let me put my small can of rice in there because I feel it within my heart to want to just put that in there, and then Life sees that and goes, yo, he's donating, yo, maybe I should like maybe want to do that too. But to your point of what you said, like, oh, like, it may not be enough if I donate my one can, but by me taking the initiative to donate the one can, Life may, not that I'm doing it for Life to see it, but it can inspire Life to be like, hey, I see what he's doing. Like, oh, there's something in my heart that is stirring up that makes me want to do that too. Well, now you have two cans versus zero cans because nobody took the time to just step up and just put in one. One turns into two, turns into 20, turns into, again, be fed for a day, turns into being fed for a week. Fed for a week turns into hopefully a month. But it takes people actually, like I say in my Just One initiative, it literally just takes one person. You put that one person to put it in, or even, again, I've done it with supply drives that we've done. As soon as one person, I'm sure you've seen it too, Holden. Sometimes you see one person just put something in, and then all of a sudden everybody starts jumping into it like, oh, I got to put something in. I got to put something in. All of a sudden the box is full. But until that one person steps up and puts it in, everybody's like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if maybe, I don't know. Am I going to look weird? Is people going to think I'm weird? Oh, the box is going to just look empty. Well, yeah, it's going to look empty if there's nothing in it. But if you start putting something in there, then it's going to show that people are this is something and do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about just being able to like find that courage, like just do what you're feeling in your heart, like what you know is right. It doesn't have to be big, or like it doesn't have to be the most like influential like impact that you're making. Like those little things, it's the little things that make the big things happen. And to go along with your point, like something that you said, like it reminded me like of the Keystone Conference. Like if you see someone doing something, like it could resonate with you and make you want to do that. And like with our steering committee, like when we got to go up on stage and get introduced, or when they got to watch us help with the breakout session, just like meet that introduction. It's those little things that we do within the large scale of the conference that makes other people want to be like, I want to be a part of this. I want to tell my friends to come to the Keystone Conference. I want to be a part of the steering committee. It's all something that just stems with a few people who just want to make a big difference, and like everybody being able to come together and like make that happen is how you see big results. And so I think we do have a lot of change makers in the world, specifically like within Keystone, starting small, starting with one idea turns into national projects, turns into laws being made. Like we have seen like the work at the Keystone conferences and at other Boys and Girls Club, the events in DC, like you can really see some amazing projects that people get to do inside of that. And it all just stems from one member who's like, I have an idea. And then just the support you get from your club family, the community, like the change is just amazing. And it can be just like that if you can have a strong community behind you. And I believe that a lot of us have that, and that is super awesome.
For sure. I think with Keystone and initiatives like this, I think Keystone allows people to see that teens do have a voice. I think that they can have it. Not I think I know that they can have an impact, and it continues to give life that teens do have that voice. I give another example is we had the opportunity to go to DC for the Joint Services Teen Council, which is kind of a parallel to Keystone. And these kids got to be able to speak in front of at the Pentagon in front of some of these lawmakers and law changers when it comes to just youth services, youth programs, and how they operate. And one of the things that they brought to the table was, certain army installations being able to fundraise and certain scenarios like that for things like the Keystone Conference and other ventures like that. And what the world kind of tells people is, yeah, the teens can say things, but nothing's really going to get pushed. But these teens were given a platform. They came in headstrong, motivated, stood on their own too, voiced out what they wanted to say, and they brought a few other points to the table. But again, touching on that fundraising one, they made a change. They're actually those army installations and those overseas installations are now able to fundraise because they stepped up and went to the Pentagon and had those conversations and presented and they said it. And again, it's showing that teens do have that voice. You can have an impact. It can start small, but given the chance, just like a snowball on a hill, it can snowball into something much bigger than people think. But you have to take that step forward. You have to take a little leap of faith and go for it and do it, and things will happen.
Yeah, I agree. And I believe that like the Boys and Girls Club is such an amazing like resource for that. The Boys and
It
Girls
is.
Club, like for me and for other teens, it's like a spotlight, just ready to let you shine and just be there wherever you go. Because if you think about those opportunities, like we have youth of the years that are meeting the presidents, we have Keystoners that are going to speak with lawmakers every single summer in like DC. Like you said, military teens are going to the Pentagon. Like we are speaking with some of like the highest officials, like the most important people in our communities, because we have change like ideas and we have like successful ways to make change, and like we can we can be heard and we will be heard. And I think the Boys and Girls Club is just a great resource for that, because they really allow us to shine and like give us that support. And I think that like without the club, like just so many resources and so many opportunities like that I've had, like by traveling, getting to speak to like the senators from my state, just like so many different people, being able to speak at different communities just to raise a few $1,000s for like food insecurity. Like none of that would be possible without the club and like the people within the club, within my club, within BGCA, and just like the other communities around. It's one big family, because I can say I'm so close with all of you guys from the committee. And like honestly, we've only been in person with each other for like 6 days total, like four at the conference
It's
and like
true.
two at
Yeah.
that weekend. But like I know that like I can come to you guys like with anything, and it's gonna be like so
Mhm.
supportive, when it's like we don't need to like be right next to each other, just because like I feel
Mhm.
like we all have such like a strong passion for like making change and being a part of the Boys and Girls Club, that like distance is no barrier for us. Like it doesn't matter how
Mhm.
far away. It doesn't matter if Keandre and Mercedes have to wake up at 2 a.m. to talk to us. Like
Yeah,
they are gonna make it happen, because we believe that there is good in the world and we want to make that change. And I think like the Boys and Girls Club is just so special for that, because I have not encountered another organization like that at all.
for sure. Dude, that's a crazy statistic that you just said too. I think it was like 8. Dude, we literally only met in person for 8 days. And it feels more like a family than some people that you spend your entire life with. And I'm not speaking like legit family. That's a whole other thing. But, you know, again, 8 days in total separated. And again, like you said, 3 days for Atlanta and then, you know, 5 when we were in Chicago, you know, with 8 months in between of not seeing each other physically in person. And just the connection that was able to be created, you know, it's insane. And it goes, you know, you've heard LeVar and I have this conversation too of, you know, LeVar and I have probably met in person, you know, a couple Keystone conferences over the span of, you know, maybe 4 years or so, you know, but our relationship is so tight knit. It's like we grew up together, you know, and that's, you know, the connections that we want to create with our Keystone family, with the teens, is that you can have these relationships, you can have an impact, and you can create something even being miles and miles apart. Like these things are possible. You just have to put the work in, and you just have to stay connected, but also like be human at the same time. Like it, you know, like we said with the gallery walk, like we talked about some real stuff, or you guys talked about some real stuff, and it showed just the human that we all are and the things that we go through. Like it isn't all just sunshines and rainbows. Like there are a lot of difficult things that we go through, and in sharing that, it's like, man, like, yeah, I'm going through that too. So, you know, we're in this together.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And someone that I think keeps getting brought up is LeVar. LV, I know that you said
Mhm.
that you guys have stayed connected. And LV, like right now, is honestly like one of the most like influential people in my life. Like I've
Mhm.
only like on different like maybe 4 different occasions have I seen like LV in person. But like LV is someone that checks in with like on me almost every day. And like that's just something to me that's so special because like I don't need to see LV in person every day to know that I can't come with him like for literally anything. Like he's always checking
Mhm.
like how was your day? Like do you need anything? Like with my blessing boxes, like he is 100% like my biggest resource right
Dope.
now, and he is a cheerleader. Like you got this. Like it looks great. Like hey, fix this, and then it's gonna be amazing. And like honestly, that support and like if I being honest right now, like that support from a male is like so huge for me in my life right now because I grow up. It's just me and my mama home. She's a single mother. My dad has never like been in my life, and so just having like a consistent person in my life like LV has just like it's been truly like tremendous like for me because I know that like I can come to him and like open up. And I know that there are so many different like people like that. Like I know there are members at your club who think of you like the exact same way. Like they can come to you. Like I'm sure Victoria is one of them. Like you guys can have real true conversations. And like you guys just honestly like you the staff at the club makes such a difference and like who we are as like a people like they can lift up your day when it's down, you know, like if you need something they are gonna make it happen. And not only LV, but all of you guys. Like
Mhm.
I remember Miss Damona, like first, like she's like right out of the bat, like right in the conversation, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to me at all. No matter what you need, like we're a family. Like if you're going to college, you need some help, like let me know. Like that's why I'm here. And I just think that's so amazing. Because you get to see
Mhm.
like the hearts with everyone within the community and just like how good of the people like the Boys and Girls Club has like developed as staff and as mentors and as leaders. And it's super beneficial for the kids. Like whether they're involved in every program at the club or whether they just simply go here after school, knowing they have like a safe haven or a safe person to talk to that's maybe not their immediate family, not a teacher, it can be honestly like life changing. And that's something I'm super grateful
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I grew up with a single mom as well too, so I can definitely sympathize with always, you know, having that need for just that male figure in your life to kind of support you. And those are things, I don't know if we've talked about this on the on some of our older episodes, but a lot of the influential people, you know, and shout out, this is again no knock to my mom. My mom has been just the biggest, one of the biggest blessings in my life, from just everything that she has done to raise me completely by herself. is, coaches, male coaches that were kind of what you're saying, kind of like a LeVar in my life, even for momentarily, of just those people that saw something deeper inside me that they wanted to bring out, that leader or that tough basketball player, or that faster runner, to be like, no, like, you can do this, like, I just need you to like push yourself and go for it, because I know you can. You may not see it in this moment, but here's some tips, here's some things that you can do to bring that out of yourself. Now I just need you to do the work. And like you said, with LeVar helping you with the boxes, like, hey, here's an idea, if you apply this, like, it's gonna work. So same thing, things that people have taught me, again, through a lot of it was through coaches. I didn't have a necessarily a boys and girls club kind of upbringing. I did go to my youth center and did have a lot of mentors through that, but just having that male figure that to be able to just kind of guide you and lead you is something so powerful. And again, it's not a knock to any female leaders, vice versa, but just like you said, having that one person to go to be able to speak and talk to on some real stuff, not just, what do we got to work on today, but just like, yo, like, you feeling down, you feeling happy, like, yo, let's have this conversation, let's talk, let's chat. And I think that's what motivates me, going into the office every single day, of trying to be that person for the teens, but also so that they see that, so that they can do that for somebody else, so that they can do that for another teen, that they don't have to wait till they grow up in order to do that. But yo, you see a teen that's down, be like, yo, I'm here for you, like, what you got? Or somebody's, just achieve something that they've been trying, yo, go up to them and celebrate them, give them a pat on the back or whatever, and just say, yo, good job. Because it doesn't go around as often as people think it does, and we need more of that, especially in the world that we're in now. And we just need more people to be like, yo, good job, I'm here for you, whatever you need, like, let's do it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And like, yeah, we talked a lot about like no knock on like females, like just because my specifically, like I don't have that male, but my advisor Ashley and my mom are
Shout out to Miss Ashley.
easily, yeah, shout out. Like those two people are by far the most impactful people in my life. Like my mom is someone, she's had a job since she was 14, you know. She grew up like working on a chicken farm, like that's what her family did, and just like really like seeing her persevere and just like make sure that like she worked as hard as she could to make sure I had everything I needed more. Is like she's honestly like I get my work ethic from her. Like anytime like I'm writing about someone, like the biggest project I had to do was for AP Lit, and it was write about someone that has like made the most impact in your life, and like I knew 100% that was going to be my mother, just because like the things that like I've seen her go through and just like be able to like persevere and just like absolutely like dominate. It's just like it's so inspiring for me because like she's doing all of this with like not even as close to the amount of resources I have. Like she didn't go to a boys and girls club. Like it's really just like I have so much support like from her and like everyone else. So like I know that I can do that. And Ashley, like shout out my advisor Ashley for real because she is the same way. Like Ashley is constantly like making sure I have what I need to succeed while also like absolutely killing it at what she does. And honestly, like right now, we work so closely together that like a lot of what we're doing like is together. Like I'm so happy I get to be on this podcast because next week me and Ashley have our own like with our club. Like we're starting a
Nice.
podcast called Youth Unmuted. We have a former NFL player like Malcolm Mitchell come on, and that is super cool. He got to win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. And I'm just like beyond like ecstatic for this opportunity that she's like cultivated and like worked with our CEO and just so many people to make happen. And like honestly, like she just makes sure that like I have everything that I need to succeed, whether it's boys and girls club, school, college, work. Like she's there through all of it. And like I would not be able to get through life without like those people, like my mom, LD, Ashley, coaches. Because honestly, I just have like such community, like full of like support behind me, and it's why I'm able to do what I do, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of them, like those mentioned and not, just because it takes a village. I mean, I believe I'm a handful, and it takes a village, and I'm really appreciative. I'm really appreciative of every single one of them.
For sure. Yeah, you got to have that village for sure. I think it's very important. I mean, yeah, I can't agree with you more on everything that you're saying. It just makes me resonate with everything that I've been through. Again, kind of same upbringing with my mom, single mom, working super young. Worked in the same job 41 years, bought her own house. Just like put me through all the different sports, showed up to all my sports. You know, as many as she could. There was only like maybe like a handful that she missed. Like she showed up. It's the people in your life that show up, I think, have the biggest impact on who we are. And I mean, even the people that don't show up, I mean, they have an impact because it shows, the people that do show up, like, I need these people and I don't need the people that are unwilling to show up. And again, there could be many reasons. I'm not here to knock why people show up or don't, but um speaking on what we're talking about, the people that show up, like it's that village that we need. Even as adults, I mean, I have these guys, Crispy, who's not here. He's our photographer, our media guy. Just in the podcast space itself, just having these guys, it keeps me motivated to just come every Wednesday, as tired as we can be sometimes
Oh
from
man.
work, and we make music to podcasts to just our regular jobs. But just having these guys be like, yo, like, we got a pod this week, like, we working, like, what we doing, having them, even being tired and still wanting to show up, um is super a blessing for me. My church family, having them, these guys, kind of flowing into that as well too. It's just it's a blessing to have those people, and help you continue to just move forward in what you're doing, and knowing that what you're doing is a good thing, and just having that backing and being like, nah, like, keep going, just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I agree. And an opportunity that has risen up for me is like you guys get to be that like so much for us. Something new that the BGCA has started. It's called the Youth Advisory Council, the National Youth Advisory Council. Like, like, like what you are saying is just like so true, and like such a big piece of like the movement. Like even at Boys and Girls Clubs of America, like just having that support, like even from the youth, because what our council is about is really just making sure that like when these big decisions are being made, when they come out with these programs, when they make these decisions, that like the people that are truly involved, like the young youth that are going to be the ones experiencing this change, like that their voices are heard. And like we for the youth advisory council, we also had to do like a little we got to do a little preview day. Like we met up in Atlanta and did like different leadership building activities, and like we got to hear just from some of the BGCA staff just about like they were so supportive. They're like, we are here like because of you. We want to be able to help you guys, like set you up for success. So like we're gonna need your opinion on stuff. And like that's just so refreshing to hear, is because like so many times teens can be like overlooked. Like some adults can like they just go to their job, like they're gonna make decisions. If it doesn't impact them, they don't really care
Hmm.
like how it like what the outcome is. But you can see that like the people at VGCA, like they care, and like the whole reason, like the whole fact that that council is in existence, and that they are starting this, and we've already like had meetings and we have projects coming up. We have a meeting tomorrow. Like it just shows you like how great the movement is at BGCA, and like just the support they have on us teens and all of the club kids, and it's super amazing.
Yeah. Could you share how this opportunity came about? Because again, you mentioned it's it's the first one that they've started. Was there like an application where they were just like, yo, like, Holden, we seen you rock the steering committee, we want to kind of bring you in? Like, how did this kind of opportunity present itself for you and your team?
Yeah, yes, sir. So it was very similar, I believe, to the Keystone application process. So we had an application process. Our advisors had an application. You know, they wanted to hear about who you are. Like, have you had like leadership experience? Like, what does your club mean? They really just want to get to find out like who you are as a person and like what the movement means for you. And I do think that the Keystone absolutely like it helped. Like it gave me kind of like it gave me experience into this. Like I've already got to lead in a different way. I've got to see those behind the scenes. And I'm not sure if they knew I was on the conference when that selection process was being made.
Mm.
But I'm super glad that I got to be a part of that just because like I kind of like I get to go into like this committee like knowing a little bit of background about like the movement and just like how amazing it is and getting to see like the backhand like the backstage work that like everyone puts on because some people don't realize like how many different like moving pieces there are, how many
Yeah.
titles there are at the club, and just like making sure that like every little detail and aspect of what BGCA is about is just like successful. And so yeah, I had the application process. There was a finals, so like they took your application
Mm.
and they might have took like the top 20 or 30 applications, and they're like, all right, we want you to make a video, say a little bit about like I think it was like a little bit about who you are, why you want to be on this, but it was like keep it short, like the video can't be longer than either like a minute or 2 minutes. And I was like, all
Yeah.
right, how do I do this in 2 minutes? And I was talking with my advisor and I was like, perfect. We're gonna go to the gym. The opening clip is gonna be me like playing basketball and like making a shot because like basketball is a big part of like who I am, like practice every day, sports off season. Like it's like the grind, like for real never stops. And I think getting to put some of that like authenticity like in such a short video can go a long way. And I do think it helps. Like I tried to make the video fun. Like really being able to show your personality goes so far in those applications, whether it's Keystone, like the Youth Advisory Council, just anything you're applying for in life, because a lot of times they're not going to have the opportunity to meet you beforehand, especially in instances like this. Like they just have to go off of what they have like on this paper that you gave them, and then if you get to have a video, like you need to put your entire personality into it, and that's something that like I'm super thankful that they did because they really got to see a lot of personalities. I think there's a lot of different personalities on this advisory council, and like we're just able to like mesh like so well together and just being able to like gain new perspectives. Like I know I've gained so much from them. We still talk like on a day-to-day basis, like even though we're not meeting every day just like the Keystone Committee, like we're just still communicating with each other, supporting each other, and that's something super amazing that I'm so thankful and blessed to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. I think the cool thing too, we've talked about it when it comes to the steering committee and things like that, is you get to see people that in those positions. Like when I saw the list of, I saw some of the highlights of what you guys did when you were in Atlanta. I saw you obviously, and then I saw like Sophia. Shout out to Sophia. I love Sophia. She's from Pennsylvania. I met her through Youth of the Year during our Northeast event, and so it's cool. And again, I say that because it's cool when you get to see people that like getting into those positions, because again, for teens or even advisors, it's like, hey, like I know that person, like that, like something like this is possible. So like if they can do it, like, I can get a teen in there, or as a teen, like, yo, that's my friend, like I want to do, like I can do that, like I want to do that, like how the heck do I, yo, Miss Ashley, how the heck do I get into doing, something like this, and it sparks that conversation. And when there's more youth involved in those type of things, especially with the programming, I mean, you guys are the ones that are gonna be participating in it. Hopefully, the programming as it stems down into your club. What better people to have feedback from than the kids that are going to participate in it? Obviously, you need, the elders, or if you will, the leadership to kind of guide the program. But you got to have some sort of feedback, because times are changing. how you structure the activity or the program or whatever is going to look a little different than it used to. We're not typically sitting down and working on stuff. Now it's more engagement, more hands-on things that we're doing, because that's just who we are as people now. So getting feedback from the people that are going to do that is totally necessary, and it's good to see that they're creating more opportunities for teens to get involved in stuff like that. So super cool that you got to be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I can't wait. I already know that like through this like next like over this next year, we're gonna get to do so many like amazing things. And we already got an email saying tomorrow two big projects are coming up. Like we can't wait to like get to tell you guys about it and like get your opinions. And so I know that like they're gonna have like a lot for us to be able to like put our mind to and like really think about, and so we can make that difference. And I'm super excited for that.
Nice. Yeah, you got a seems like you got a full year ahead of you. You just started your senior year now?
Yes, sir. Senior year.
Nice. It's closing it out. I mean, that's not a bad way to close out your senior year with a bang, if I say so myself. I mean, that's such a great opportunity. What are you looking forward to most? Is obviously, aside from graduation, which is usually the standard response for a senior. But I would say, like, what are some things or something that you're kind of looking forward to as you kind of close out your senior year? Not to rush it, but to kind of fulfill that senior year.
No, yeah. So honestly, there's a lot. There's a lot that has been coming up. So first and foremost, the most important thing to me, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I won my state youth of the year in 8th grade, and because of just like
Wow.
the way that like we believe like things work, like the best opportunity for me, like we said, all right, we're gonna wait for you to compete again until your senior year. And so like that
Okay.
application is going to come out in November, and I am going to be on it because the youth of the year isn't just an experience that was like so amazing for me. So I'm just going to put my heart and soul into youth of the year. I can't wait for basketball season. That's going to come out in November. We've been working
Yo.
hard like all off season, then you got track, you have the podcast. There's a lot going on in my life, and I'm like super grateful for like all of it because I like to stay busy, going on these college visits, getting to talk to these amazing people, getting like be on this podcast with you, and just getting to like stay like every day. I feel like it's a whole adventure. I have something going on, and so I'm just super grateful for all of it. But there's a lot of stuff coming up that I can't wait to be a part of, and I'm grateful for each opportunity I have.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely great to stay busy. I would just say, and this isn't knocking all the busyness. All I'm saying is this, just appreciate, and I'm sure but just saying it to say it, just appreciate every single moment that comes. Like, just be in that moment, because it is going to fly by so fast, and then all of a sudden you're going to be standing on stage, switching over your cap, and it's going to be like, man, like this part is done. Obviously there's still more to come, college and all that other stuff, but like this part is done. So I just say, just appreciate every single moment, because then you look, we say as we get older, like, oh, you look back and you're like, man, now you're 37, and you know you're working every single day, and you're venturing into all these different things, and you're looking back, you're like, man, back in my day, back in high school, and all those things that you say as you get older. You're just like, man, like, if I could go
Yo,
back.
I couldn't tell you how many moments I've had, like, just thinking about something and like, damn, that was like 19 years ago. Dang, that was 20 something years ago. What the heck happened? You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely important to just like soak up every single moment, because you want to remember those times, and then there's gonna be a time where you're gonna be telling somebody else. There's gonna be a lot of stories that come out of it, and yeah, just appreciate, just soak in every single moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%,
it's
man. And I think that's why like I am trying to stay so busy because I don't want to look back and like 5 years, 10 years, like even a year, and just be like, wow, like I should have been a part of that. And I think that like that's why I like to stay busy is because like I get to gain
mhm.
like all these new experiences. I get to see like these new perspectives. Like with the club, I have traveled so much and I've been to so many places that I would not have had the opportunity to go with like without like being a part of these programs at the Boys and Girls Club. And so like just really like getting to like use all these resources that I've been like blessed with the opportunity to have, you know, like I'm creating memories that are going to last a lifetime. And I hope that I will be able to just like bestow like all of my memories and be like, you should do this. I loved it. Like join the club. I loved it. Like go on this podcast. Like it was an amazing experience. Go to the Keystone Conference. It was an amazing experience. And like I can say that like now to like thousands of people that like I want you to do this. And I'm just happy that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this leap of faith. I'm gonna apply for the steering committee. I am gonna go to my Boys and Girls Club. I'm gonna try out for the basketball team because like it's just who I am. Like staying busy is like this like has made an identity for me and like given me like so many different places to call home. And it's just been a surreal experience. And that's what I want to do is truly soak up every last memory of my last year of high school, just be with my friends and just like really, really make those memories last.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to say to like everybody watching as well. You know, you never want to wonder what if. You never want to, you know, regret not doing something because you were unsure of it. Like even if you're unsure, just dive in. You know, just you know, tackle things little by little and just like, you know, lean on to, you know, everybody around you. And, you know, it's definitely not as bad as you think it is. It's not bad at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I mean, I see a lot of teens even now, and even some younger kids, where I mean, we're in such like a tablet kid, and you know, addicted to our phones and stuff like that. And you know, I had a conversation with a kid, and I was like, do you want to look back at your middle school, your high school life, and the only thing that you have to attest to it is that you were on your phone or you were playing games? It's like, dude,
Skipping
there's
class or whatever.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many opportunities. Like just get involved. Like you don't like I don't think you understand the feeling that you're gonna have if you look back and there is nothing to show for it, or not even anything to show for it, but just nothing that you experienced to just dive off the deep end and just try something and just experience things. Like if
Yeah.
you don't do that, like again, I'm afraid. I'm grateful that I've never experienced this feeling, but I'm afraid for the kids and the feeling that whatever that feeling is going to be of looking back and being like, I don't really have anything to share. Like, oh, well, you know, what was high school like for you? I went to class. It was okay, and social media was really cool, and there was a lot of TikTok trends. That's I would rather hear, yo, I went to DC and I went to Atlanta and I went to Atlanta twice and I went to Chicago and I played on a basketball team. I tripped and fell flat on my face, but I got back up and I did something else. And you know, I ran track and I tried out for this thing. I didn't make it, but it was just a cool experience to at least try. Like I would rather hear the failures of what I would rather hear. This is just coming to my mind. I would rather hear if you never made a single thing, if you tried out for 20 different teams and you failed and didn't make a single one, I would rather hear 20 failure stories than just somebody just well, I was just kind of just didn't do anything.
And
I
like
was watching
sometimes those
Instagram, stuff like that. I agree.
and like sometimes those 20 failures can lead into something that like if someone, you know, doesn't know like what the trajectory of like the rest of their life is going to look like, that could, you know, those 20 failures can lead them into that one thing that like, you know, took them off, and now, you know, they get to help others through that. So I mean, you know, all of our failures, all of our trials and tribulations, like they each teach us something. If you look at it as a lesson, it's gonna make a huge, you know, it just makes all the difference.
They're 20 experiences.
Yeah.
It's 20 things that you went through.
Right.
Yeah, it maybe didn't go the way that you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's still 20 things that you actually got to feel in some sort of way, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever. Like you still felt it. There's still, like you said, there's still a lesson. There's still something that you can take back from it versus just again, you look at like I hate to say it, but it's like TikTok trends. It's who remembers what the last one was? Don't worry, I'll wait, because we've completely forgotten it and have moved on to the next one. I don't even know what the one is now, but that's how quickly we forget about it, because it's like no one cares, because we're on to the next thing. And it's like, can we just create things that last a little bit longer than 30 seconds in our minds,
Yeah.
versus just focusing on TikToks? Let's just make memories that last so much longer, far past our attention span,
Yeah.
than just what we view on TikTok or social media or whatever. Like, let's step outside of that, or YouTube, whatever, social media, but let's just step outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and something that, like, to build off something that Life said, is that those trials and tribulations and like those failures that you go through, like this can lead to like so many new opportunities. And like for me, like I use it as motivation. Like something like my sophomore year in basketball, like I did not touch the varsity floor like almost at all. Like it was, we were either down 30 or we were up 30. And like I get to go in for the last like 5 seconds, you know. And so like I thought of that and I was like, all right, well, these people are better than me. So like next year, like you just gotta work harder. And so like I just like I'd make it my goal, like be in the gym like every day, before practice, after practice, like get those extra shots and really work like 100%, like as hard as you can in practice. So like you can make that change that you want to be. And like honestly, like that work ethic, like I said, that I think I like get from my mom, like I'm just so thankful for it, because I worked my butt off like day after day. And like finally I made my way into that starting five my junior year. And like if for me, it's just like my basketball experience is just so like spectacular, you know, because you'll if you don't go and play those college sports, like you can't look back in the time and be like, there was hundreds of people in the stands like cheering me on. Like you do your pregame handshake and everyone's clapping. You make that last minute three, like you have your whole community behind you. And like it's all I got, like all of that support, and I got that motivation. I was able to be put in that situation because I failed, or because I wasn't as good as someone else. Like that showed me that like, hey, you can work harder. And like, and then I worked harder, and it's like, wow, like look what happens when you put your mind to it and really give something your all. And so I agree 100%.
Word.
There was like this one kid on my basketball team in high school. Like he like didn't play a single minute, maybe like the last 30 seconds or something like that. Sometimes last minute. You know what I mean? He wasn't the best on the team, but like when he was on that bench, he was the most rowdy, the most encouraging. He was loud, but like the rest of the team followed. He sometimes got the crowd into it, and it just riled up the entire team.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly. And he's making that
yeah,
impact like so much better, like not only for the team, but like for himself. Like if you're just sitting on the bench, like, well, I didn't make it, like you're just gonna be mopey and sad. Like the experience is not gonna be as fun. But if you're like, yeah, let's go, if you're getting everyone hype, it just makes it so much more fun for everyone around. And so like, yeah, shout out to that guy, because
and then
way
it
to be a
made me
team
like
player.
exactly, and it made me feel like I mean, I've no clue why um I wasn't a starter. I mean, sometimes I wasn't. There's a lot of like sometimes there's politics involved in like
For sure.
high school athletics. I'm not gonna get like deep into it, but like because of that person, I'm like, you know what, like watch, put me in, coach. I'm gonna hit that last shot for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it for him. I'm gonna do it for us. I'm gonna do it for our community.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You have so much people, like I think that goes back to like the community. Like you have so much people like putting in like so much like work for you. Like even if they're just like being your biggest cheerleader, like it makes me want to succeed like for them. Like I want to
Yeah.
do all these things for my mom, for LV, for Ashley, for my friends, like for everyone that has like been there and supported me. Like I want to be successful and be able to say, this is because of you guys. Like this is because of the support that you guys have given me. And I think like that's something super amazing, that like it's amazing to have a community for you, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes kids like you, teens like you, for us, like I said earlier, it kind of shows the fruit of our work. Teens that receive and understand what it is that we're trying to do as advisors, as older adults, of trying to pass on certain words of wisdom and just like knowledge of things that we've been through, and obviously things that we do in our centers through Keystone, through Youth of the Year, to be like you said, like to show that like everything that we're doing is on the right path, because there's fruit like you, of teens that are just doing successful things, that are getting involved, that are achieving all of these things from even just one, even if it's just one nugget that an advisor has shared with you, or some other kind of older adult that is kind of impressed on you, like those things. Like I mean, I'll speak for myself. Even if a kid takes one little nugget and then years later is like, yo, like I remember that one time you told me that, and now I'm doing this. Yo, amen. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Cool. I keep going. I keep pushing forward, and it's great. Again, it's just great to see teens like you, people like you, that are just, embracing the challenges, embracing opportunities, and just seeking out things, because life is way too short, and there's so many things that you should get the opportunity to experience. So why not try for it all?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I agree, and I'm super grateful to be in a place where I am in life. I'm really soaking up every moment, and like honestly, like yeah, you guys deserve so much of that recognition. And like for like the teens watching, like tell someone, tell your mentor in life, tell your parents, like because of you, like I am successful. Like just like giving them that like shout out, like it can be so impactful. Just because I believe adults can get so caught up in like their day to day routine, like sometimes they can start to like forget like why they do what they do, or like who it is that they're
For sure.
impacting. And so like just for like even adults, like even an adult in your life, if you have someone that's like been pouring into you, or like you're like because of like you, like I'm able to be here today, just like tell them thank you. And it goes back to that kindness we talked about earlier, like having that support
Mhm.
system. But it just goes a long way.
Hmm. And it's not like we do it for that. It's a weird thing. It's like it's not like we do it for that, but it's just one of those things. It's just always good to hear, to know that you are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same
Absolutely.
thing, like, same thing with basketball, or us creating music and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, like I know I'm starting the game and I know I'm playing, and I'm hitting my shots, but like when you hear from the coach or the assistant coach, like, yo, nice shot, way to get back on defense, and like, dude, I see you like hustling out there in practice every single day. Like, again, yeah, that's why I showed up. That's why I came to practice, coach. But it's good to hear that and be like, okay, I am going in the right direction. It's just knowing that you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like if
Absolutely.
I'm doing really bad, like please tell me. Like I need to know the bad too, so that I can fix it and get in the right direction. And then when I'm doing good, like please tell me, because if you don't, then again, like you said, sometimes you forget if you're in the right place, or if you're doing the right thing, or why we even show up. Sometimes again, we're human just like you guys are, and the day to day and life in general can just really get to us. And sometimes we just need that little pick me up. Again, it isn't to boost our ego or to inflate our head. It's just to be like, oh yeah, I needed that. I needed that in that moment. Thank you for just saying that. Those kind words. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, no doubt I agree 100%. Like it can just go so far. And sometimes that's all we need. Just a little bit like, hey, you're doing good, keep it up. And that can just like keep you fueled like for a day, for a week. And like that stuff doesn't go unnoticed for me when my coach is like, hey, great job. Like today we were doing a drill after practice or in practice. And he was like, go down more or cut, like you're open. And then like you cut, like I cut. And he's like, hey, thanks for listening. Like I appreciate that. I see you actively like doing the things that I am saying to try to make you better. Like in mine, I was like, okay, good. He notices like I'm putting in the work. I'm trying to be better, and like I think that's something that like a lot of advisors do a good job too as well. Is like when we're working on different like community events, or like we're doing the little things like, hey, I see you, like thank you, and like that just goes a long way for me. And I love to be able to just be like LV, I appreciate you checking in on me. Ashley, thanks for helping me with this. Like your support means the world. And like that's just something super easy, 5-second conversation, and then boom, like you can make someone's day with that, especially if like they're being down or something, like something's not going the way, and then boom, compliment, and everything's all better. And so I think yeah, kindness, positivity, that like almost that like that reassurance that you've got this, you're doing a good job. It can be super beneficial.
For sure. Literally.
No matter where you are in life, no matter where you came from, we all need that, in some way, shape, or form. Like even if you're rock bottom and you do like, one small thing, that is gonna put you, back on the right track. Definitely take the time to,
For sure.
just
share it,
be
man.
encouraging.
Just say it. Yeah. Just say it.
Absolutely.
Well, Holden, man, I really appreciate you. I'm so glad your team, your peeps, everybody shouted you out, man. This was super dope. I just want to thank you for your time. I know you are a very busy guy with a lot of things on your plate, but thank you for taking the time to just share your story, share your perspective on everything, your insight. I think it's so valuable. I think it's so needed. And I thank you for taking the time to share that with us for this episode.
Yeah, of course. And like, thank you for like giving me a platform. Like, you don't understand like how much I needed this. Just like be ready and like have the confidence to like start my own podcast like next week. And just like huge shout out, like number one, to like my friends, my support group, the ones that commented for, like from my church camp. Like even them, like I only knew them. Like we only saw each other in person for like a week. We stayed close. We like to talk about our highs and our lows. Like how our faith is like leading us, and like they supported me 100%. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to my friends that just like made this happen. And like Ashley is sick right now, like so unfortunately sick. I think she has the flu. And like I walked in her office and like boom, podcast, like microphone set up, like computer, like anything that you needed, like she made sure I had that. And that's just that constant support I get and the reason I'm able to keep going. So just huge, like my community is everything to me, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys for letting me come on here, like working with me. Like we had those technical difficulties at the beginning. They're like, hey, you got this. Take your time. We'll start whenever you get things figured out. If you need help, we're here as a resource. And so I appreciate you guys. I think we had great conversations. I learned a lot. I was able to reminisce on some of the great opportunities and memories we had during Keystone, and this whole opportunity and experience has been a blessing. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Yo, this right here is the kind of thing that changes the world. So let's all keep going, man. Let's go, everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hell
Sounds
yeah.
for everyone. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. Definitely love to, down the road, maybe a couple months from now or something, we can definitely like re-tap in, see how things are going. I would love to just continue the conversation as well. If you're down, maybe we could bring some more people in and just continue that conversation for sure.
Absolutely. I would love that. No doubt.
Word. Well, I just want to say thank you and God bless to everybody that has been tuning in. This conversation has truly been a blessing to us. I want to say shout out to Krispy, who is not here, part of the team. Appreciate you, man. Love you, man. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all that you do. Life, thank you for everything that you do as well. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith. We also got
Life.
And we also have on the screen
Holden.
And this is the Right Mind Podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?